tend to forget about Wednesday night sometimes, and then sometimes when I remember, I'll try to plan around and tuning up stuff and kind of find it to the throwing or I have to have it still in the truck. So I'm being lazy. Today I'll deal with whatever's on here.
Yeah, well, laziness is, I guess it's a forgivable offense. we all have those periods of laziness there where we don't want to do something. It's like I want to do it, but I don't feel like doing it.
That's for anybody else out yet or
no? Not that I've heard. Although I do believe Pete Rand McNally there is on his way. He was down on the bottom floor, and he's slowly taking the elevator up again.
I'm here. I didn't realize I had the squelch all the way up.
Well, that won't work unless you're talking to your neighbor.
Ding!
Evening, man. I'm gonna talk. Yeah, Roger. Yeah, I've been playing with this project. What a Mustang. I've been messing with it. Been involved with that radio stuff again, so I had to reset the gamut with this V-Quad. Here it says still.
Why is that different?
Right. Yeah, I got enough. I didn't know if I'm a hold of it now for another 8+ years. That's one regret. Yeah, come on, we'll talk. They're not fun, but to yeah, man, whoever replaced it, they replaced it with a glass window one. They just, where the cables run through the weather stripping, they like overlap the window and hook the back up. I had to take the trim off and tuck it because what it was doing was just it was open, which was letting water down into the flap. Yeah, mine's not perfect. I should go back out and maybe wait till summertime because they're a lot easier to work with in the summertime and button it up a little bit better. I replaced a lot of the weather stripping, but like I said, I was getting ready to just quick unload the car, even though I've owned it since probably 2003. Yeah, you might as well keep it, dude. Them Fox bodies, they were a dime a dozen cheap. Same. And it's kind of what my philosophy was with the, SN95 new edges. They're like, still fair. In 5 or 10 years, they're going to be really insane there, right? Yeah, I almost sold the car a couple times, and for what I was going to sell it for, I look back at it and think, well, now I can get, I was selling it really cheap. It's a nice car. It needs a little bit of work again. I gotta fix a little bit of the floor because the one side on the driver's side leaks. So the rear back floor pan's a little messed up. But I put I did a paint job and everything on it, so the car looks great. It just needs a lot of little TLC. What is it, a 91 GT convertible? 91 LX convertible. It's automatic. Like I said, I bought it cheap, and I was gonna fix it up and unload it, but I just keep holding on to the car for some reason.
Sentimental value.
10-4 driver.
Well, I hear Pete in there. Good evening, Sandbagger. Step aside.
Yeah, good looker.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Classic Radio Roundup. 441, your countywide radio.
Yeah, you're not quite there.
Yeah, low-ass modulation.
Yeah. Well, I can fix that. Hello. All right. Yeah, I shouldn't have to, but apparently I need to. How's that?
Well, it's stronger, but it's rough around the edges.
Yeah, that's really weird. It's really weird. Because it was super great the way it was set down on shorter wavelengths. And the advice of my Elmer, I shouldn't have to change anything. But apparently I do.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's probably good default advice, but I don't know. It sounds like it's maybe not tuned right, or I don't know. It's, like I say, it's a little rough around the edges.
Yeah, well, I don't know what to do about it. That's all I can do. Well, it doesn't work when we double, but I don't know what to do about it other than what I can do.
I wouldn't mind having a Connex. I would make it into a high fidelity radio.
Oh man, I'm losing out all over the place.
Really off frequency.
Or something.
Yeah, you guys hearing that too?
Yeah, there's a little bleed over going on.
Oh, am I not working at all now?
That was you, Pete. You were just way off frequency.
Well, not according to my frequency counter, I'm not.
Now you're not. If that was you before, it sounded like you were just low.
Well, I'm fooling around with some new kind of stuff here, so this is a whole new kind of setup that I'm using here. Well, some old equipment, some new equipment all tied together, so gotta work the bugs out.
Yeah, you're running nasally. I hear you, but you're nasally.
All right, how's that? Does that change anything?
I think somebody Kiwi and try it again.
Yeah, it doesn't work when I get doubled with. I don't know. Did that help or did that hurt? Not do anything or what?
Now you sound like you're pitching it does it even more.
Good grief. All right. Well, I guess maybe I'll have to change radios. This isn't working out here for some reason.
Yeah. I caught the tail end of your conversation on the other band there, and from what I could tell, you sounded pretty good. Although you weren't really strong in signal, but it sounded a lot better there than it is at the current time here.
All right. Well, I'm at lower power now. Did that change anything, or is it still crappy?
Just need to take the clothespin off his nose, Dave.
Well, yeah, the electronic version of it anyway.
Well, I was advised not to change anything because I had it sounding good down on 160. So I'm not going to change anything. I'm going to have to change radios apparently because I'm not changing nothing.
Famous last words. But see, that's the thing, that's assuming that we live in a perfect world, and we all know that that's not the case.
Well, if I go changing things now to make it better for this band, I'm going to get scolded because I was advised you shouldn't need to change anything because there's apparently something else that's not right because I shouldn't have to change anything. So having to change something means something else is not right. And I'm not going to mess it up for 160 where this radio is more important to use than here.
Yeah, now you're so low, I got to turn the volume up to hear you.
All right. Well, let me change radios. Hang on. Let me change radios, and this isn't going to work out.
Yeah, you've almost got no audio. It's getting lower and lower. What's going on there?
I'm going to change radios because this is not going to work out.
No, he's up and down. Don't change radios. Be gone with you. Put the Yazu on or whatever other radio you got queued up over there, and we'll resume when you come back.
Yeah, he went from ATV to nothing. Yeah, he's floating all over the place. But anyway, good evening, y'all.
Hello there, JR.
Been a long time no here. Hey, good evening, Bagger. Good to hear you in there. And who is that funny guy out there, out to the east of me there? What's his name? Bassmaster? Yeah, long time no hear. Yeah, I've been preoccupied, but I had the beam up on the top of the truck. I had to play with nothing. I figured I come out here barefoot, not all hyped up and wave a hand out at it. Yeah, you don't need to come in here hyped up. You'll get everybody all wound up. It'll be fighting and arguing, carrying on and echoing on each. You don't want to do that. Just play a low profile. Yeah, Roger. I figured this was enough to be heard. Who needs to hear me anyway?
Yeah, because we don't want any echo.
Oh no! Oh no! You of all people. I have a little bit of it, I think. I don't know. They might not be able to hear it. I just have a crack. Dave, I think Petey's wiping off on you.
No, I had this before he had that, so.
Yeah, but you're the one starting it tonight. Anyway, good evening, Joker. I heard you in there as well. And then he was gone. All right, I'll stand on the side. But anyway, just wanted to pop in and say, hey, good to hear y'all.
Roger, Roger. Classic Radio Roundup. Oh, I want to check my match here. Oh, look at that. It's the best it's ever been. Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's doing it. It's doing it.
Yeah, swing the beam up this way. Sounds like it's doing it. I like the way it sounds.
Did I just hear Bite Buster?
Yes, I said swing the beam up this way.
Okay. Here, that should be about at you.
A little better.
Well, you're a lot better. You're very readable tonight. About S5 on my meter.
Give me.
Say that again?
That's about what you're giving me.
Well, what do I normally give you up there?
I don't know. You're kind of like in the background. I don't know. On sideband, you sound much better.
Well, yeah. We all sound much better. There's less noise.
You always sound really good. I mean, I don't care if you give me 1 pound, 2 pounds, whatever, F2. You sound really good all the time. It's like the same modulation. It's just that the signal isn't always there.
Yeah, well, I think, I haven't really been able to point the beam directly at you for quite a while, but now I can, but I don't know if it's made any difference. It's the matches, but I've got a new run of cable, and all my bent up elements are straightened up again, and so it's in a better way than it was.
And what kind of coax are you using?
Well, the feed from the antenna down into the garage is what they call 8268, which is roughly equivalent to, I guess, RG213. It's double shielded. And then from there into the house is 9913. I got for nothing, so, and there you go.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh my God, it works.
Well, I had to change things as things get changed. Sometimes you have a plan and that plan doesn't work out, so you got to go to the backup plan. It's just the way life is.
Yeah, as long as you have a backup plan, you're good.
So now I'm like, why is it set one way and works great on one band? You go to another band and it ain't the same, but it's the same damn radio.
Well, it's a difference in bands, multipliers, and all that other thing, and as a percentage of modulation to frequency of carrier. I don't know. I'm just winging it here, but maybe there's a little RF feedback getting in that you didn't have on the low bands. There's a multitude of reasons what could be accounting for the difference.
Well, the sensei says I shouldn't have to change nothing except the frequency tuning. But apparently there's other issues then that were not noticeable before with the transmitter before I started fooling around and doing stuff. Oh my God. Do one thing and you got to do other things to get back to the thing. Sometimes that's why I don't like to open these worm cans.
Well, that's the thing, There's theory, and then there's reality.
I'm still in that small antenna, and everything seems to be sounding great.
Yeah, I'm on a small antenna. Quarter wave ground plane hanging in a tree.
I'm on the half wave PT99 about, I would say maybe 15 feet off the ground. Definitely not 20.
Right.
And hello to all on the band that I haven't said hello to. There's quite a few, but since there's a breaker, I won't go through the list. Go, breaker.
Yeah, this is me trying to get in here. Hello around the band. Also, Train.
Hello, Train.
And Dave, is your antenna not pointed at me?
It's sort of pointed at you now. I'm splitting the difference.
Yeah, I guess I'm not happy with your signal then.
Oh, it isn't working?
Oh, you're an S5. Why are you only an S5?
Oh, well, I don't know, because you're on a quarter wave ground plane?
Yeah, well then why is Train 5 dB over 9?
I don't know.
Because the beam is working.
And I can hear Bytebuster too. So I hear Bytebuster more or less the same as I always do.
Well, I guess there's that multipath blockage in the way again.
And I'm barefoot.
Yeah, and I hear Bytebuster at an S3. You're only two S units above Bytebuster.
Well, that's bizarre.
I'm not.
Sounds good over here. Hello out there, Bytebuster. Train signing on.
Good evening.
Yeah, I'm not disputing the fact. I'm just stating facts.
You're S9 on my end.
Well, are you running power or not?
Well, that's a dumb question to ask.
Well, then I don't know how to explain it. Maybe my S meter's out of cal. I don't know. But I'm running fire chicken power like I always do.
What radio are you on?
Tram Titan.
Okay, that's got a pretty good meter on it.
Yeah, and I never thought it was that far out of whack. I mean, Train's an S9.
How about me, P? What am I giving you?
Oh, just over a 3, but I hear you fine.
I'm barefoot too, so I can't judge that.
Yeah, you're just over an S3, but I hear you just fine.
Oops, I doubled. Good evening, Pete.
Yeah, hello, Mr. JR. And you're only an S5. What the heck?
Oh, man, we're mudding it, I guess. I don't know. Faraday wall between Pete and us, I guess.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on. As long as that signal, to be honest, as long as that signal stays the same and don't change downwards, then I think it's all good. Well, that was a double and or a triple. I have no idea what was going on there. A lot of noise.
Well, I'll say this. I wasn't the one that doubled, but I will say your signal's where it's supposed to be. I'm receiving you fine.
No, that's JR. Hello, JR. Pete, try a different radio just in case there's something in your receiver.
Nope, not going through that again tonight. Nope, I already changed radios once. Ain't doing it again.
This
This is Joker.
Hey, Joker.
It just makes a mess over here and ruins the video gate.
Joker, what antenna are you using? I have that PT99, like I was saying, under 20 foot off the ground in the backyard. Yeah, because it's like up and down. All right, how about this? Am I up and down now? Up and down, up and down. No, that's solid.
How you receiving me up there, Bite Buster?
You sound good.
All right. Well, the quarter wave ground plane seems to be working going out. I don't know. The jury's still out on the inbound side.
You copy me, Buster, or no? Oh, yeah, I got a copy. All right, I'm pointing away from you, due west, and barefoot, so that's good. I'm happy with that.
Well, that's why I hear you so well. You're pointing at me.
So going back to earlier, Dave, though, you were copying the mail on medium wave, and you could hear me on that 50-watt transmitter?
Yeah, I still have the 102-inch whip on the gutter, and I used that, and I pulled the connector out to just the center part was plugged in, and that seems to do a little bit better job on receive. So I was able to hear you. I actually think I heard Piero, but he was just right in the noise.
Yeah, Piero was in there from the beginning. Him and I talked for a while. It started out a little bit rough, but as the time goes on, the band just gets better, and by the end, he was just fine.
Yeah, well, that's a good thing.
He had an easier time hearing me than I actually had to hearing him, I think. But he's got a higher noise level, which is also kind of strange because I have no noise level.
Yeah, he does have noise problems. He was having trouble hearing me on 80 because he had a high noise level,
But he was also barefoot too. So I mean, I think he was only running like 25 watts or whatever. But within half an hour, he was all 100% copy. Who's hollering at me?
Hey, what kind of a microphone are you using? You have some kind of a funky sound to it.
Yep, I do have a funky sound to it. It's my Turner Plus 2. It's old and it's funky, just like me. Old and funky.
There's some DX rolling in there.
Oh, no.
Sure that there wasn't 64?
Oh, triple. It said somebody getting on up and getting on down. I don't know.
Or is that Cosmic Radio?
That would be a surprise if it was. He's got to repair the gamma match on the Sigma 4. The little eyelet broke off. He's got to solder it back on.
A little rough tonight.
Yeah.
What's up there, training and waving at you?
Is that you, Bassmaster?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. How are you?
I'm doing good. I thought about you today, and I'm going to tell you why. The reason why I thought about you today is because I had an estimate in Red Hill. I did an estimate on the way home from work, and I had to take a little drive up to Red Hill and take some measurements and submit an estimate. And I'm thinking, I thought about you.
Yeah, Forerunner. Yeah, I've been preoccupied and I was telling Joker, I bought this Mustang. I've been messing around with it. I've been driving that, messing with that. And then, earlier in the week, the DX was good, so I had to reset the match on the gamma match on the V-Quad. It still happened to be sitting on top of the truck. So I figured, hey, I'm going to go out and see the guys. So.
Roger that. Yeah, that's nice. All right, man, I don't want to tie it up. Old Train on the side.
Good evening, Train.
Well, hello, JR. I tried to speak to you earlier, man. How you doing?
Not too bad. Good day, you know. Got this completion, got that. It was one of them good productive days. So I'll sit with that, and that's what I'm going to say. That's all I'm going to say about it.
Well, that's good. Yeah, I did too. Even though what I had to do wasn't really big, but I did have to go running down, to the city, and I tied some ends up. That's what I did, and took some measurements, and then from there I headed on up the Red Hill, and from there home. And I tried to catch those guys on 160, but that Dave guy, I can't hardly hear him, so I figured, well, it's not worth it.
Oh, wow. I was listening to him. I got in, when I first got in, I was listening to them guys, but I guess Pete already got off. I heard, I think it was Billy and Dave in there. But, we went through Red Hill. The wife and I went through there, I guess it was probably about a month ago. And I don't know, it looked different to me than what I was when I went there years ago. Seems like some things changed.
No, you don't say. You don't mean they built some more houses? Yeah. I've been up there for years and years ago too, but yeah, I was looking around. I'm like, man, this is really not a bad place to live.
That's my home stomping ground, and it has changed dramatically.
Yeah, I thought about you too, Joker. And I asked the gentleman, was he, raised in this area? He said no, he came from like Edison, New Jersey, so he wouldn't have known you. Otherwise, I would have asked him. You know what I mean?
Yeah, my dad still lives in Red Hill. My uncle still lives in Red Hill. Yeah, I'm a Red Hillian.
Roger on the Red Hillians.
Yeah, I've been up here since 2004, so I've seen a lot change in that, 20 plus years.
I kind of think the elevation is good, but I didn't have a chance to check it. You see, I have my little altimeter in my smartphone, but I was just busy. So I didn't check, but I could have checked for elevation.
That Joker will probably know, but I think it's like 3 to 350.
I'll be honest, I don't really recall.
I think it's like 3 to 350 feet, depending on where you're at.
So growing up, we had where my grandfather's place was down from Redner's, down the bottom of the hill in front of the gun club. So he had that big hill to 6th Street to overcome. And then if you go down Main Street and make a left on the 3rd Street and go down that hill, that's where I used to be.
Was that the old chicken farm there at the end before, right at the end of that split there?
No, that was not Beavers. Wow, I can't think of the guy's name. No, my grandfather was, I don't know if you know the gun club, the driveway to go in there. His was the second house. He had the barber shop. He passed away before you moved into the area.
Yeah, Roger. Yeah, I know there's that was.
Actually, no, I think that was the Bowers farm. They owned across the street, and they owned from where that house was all the way into the back, and then they subdivided it. And that's where I drove, snowmobile and dirt bikes and everything. All those fields around there, and now across the street is all development. Once you go past the factories, but yeah, that was until I was 13, I lived right next to that, so I lived right on that street there.
Yeah, Roger. Yeah, I moved up here before all them clocks, going over Gary, towards Gary.
Stand by, break.
Oh, fields.
We say that, Trey?
People is to hunt.
QSO in there, hold on.
Yeah, I'll say one more thing and I'll step back. Yeah, that's, like I said, those were all the fields we rode our snowmobiles and dirt bikes in, and before my grandma passed away, probably 2018 or 2020, my brother and I were riding our bikes back there on the roads with the developments, and we got lost. And I'm like, how did we get lost in Red Hill? But I'll step back.
Hey, Penny Snatcher, mobiles here. Give you a sound anytime. Yeah, we're right. Penny Snatcher, mobiles, we'll get that.
You guys got a breaker there, Joker. I hear Panty Snatcher, but there's another gentleman in there. Go ahead, that breaker.
Yeah, how's it going, Night Train? Joker, Panty Snatcher, Kilowatt down here in Norristown. Come on.
I hear all you guys feel.
Hey, Kilowatt. Yeah. Kilowatt, man, I heard you the first time. But Joker was in there talking up the Red Hill, so I didn't want to step on him. But yeah, I heard you. What's going on, Kilowatt?
Not too much, man. I understand etiquette, man. I understand it. No problem at all. Everything's doing good, man. I'm just figuring I'd check in and get my ass back to bed. Come on.
Right, you gotta get up early and go to work, man.
What, you ain't got to get up and go to work?
Not early. I can't do it. If I can, I don't want to. Let's put it that way.
Yeah. Night Train, I'm usually in Swanksville by 7 o'clock. Come on.
Yeah, that's too early. I like the people to get dressed and get the children fed and everything. Then I come in and do my work.
Yeah, Roger.
It's nice to hear you, man. Everything all right?
Yeah, everything's good, man. Everybody's healthy. Can't complain. Come on.
Roger that. Yeah. How's this radio sounding to you over there? And look on your meter, man, and tell me what I'm doing.
You hit me with 6.5, 7. Give me a day key.
There's the dead key. And then there's the little modulation. Come on.
Yeah, he's doing a 6 to 7. Come on.
Well, I got an 8 on you, man. I'm cheating or you cheating? Somebody cheating. Somebody ain't right.
It must be that meter. Come on.
It could be. I don't know, but everything sounds all right because this is kind of new over here, right here.
Yeah, Roger. I'm still running 95. I ain't got no classic radios. Come on.
Roger that. Well, I got a short cable going, coming down to my little shack, and it's not the same. It's not the same. Everything's a little different.
You in the barn on the CB?
Yes, sir.
And you got that coax away from that twin lead, I hope?
Yes, sir. I drilled me another hole.
Oh, well, then you're golden.
Oh,
Hello, 64. Hey, Panty Snatcher, I hear you jumping up and down out there. There's a lot of traffic down this way, but I hear you jumping up and down. Top of the evening to you there, son-in-law, your countywide radio.
441, I'm getting ready to drop down here, waiting for Pennsylvania, so I'm going to be listening, y'all. Take care. I'll snatch your mobile. Bye-bye.
All right, buddy. Good to hear from you. Take care. Be safe. Catch you later. Countywide radio.
Roger, Bill. All right, with that, gentlemen, I'm dropping out, too. All right, everybody, y'all have a good evening. Snatcher, if I hear you in the morning, I'll give you a holler back. Come on, pleasure, gentlemen.
See you later there, Bassmaster. Good to hear you on. It's been a little while. Don't be such a stranger. 441, the Rand McNally Countywide Radio.
Yes, sir. You know who it is. You know where I'm at. I'm somewhere probably east and north of you.
Catch you later, Bassmaster. Oh, JR said that.
All right, have a good night, Bassmaster. Also, Kilowatt, man, I know you didn't get a chance to clear out, but 73's to you, man. If you're leaving the frequency, it's good to hear you.
Catch you later, Kilowatt.
Hey, buddy, I can't hear someone. So if I'm walking on him, I apologize. Or if he's walking on me, whatever. Take care, Officer Joker. Spitfire until we do it again. 73.
All right, Bassmaster, don't make yourself a stranger. There's another breaker out there.
Yeah, it's Pyro checking in. It's been a while, guys.
Hey, Pyro, what's going on, man?
Hopefully all is well.
Hey, boy. Yeah, you sounding good tonight.
Thank you, sir.
I'm looking for you, Pyro. The next fight Tyson's in. I'm going to hook up with you.
Oh, you still remember that. That's funny.
I'll never forget it.
Pyro, you haven't been on the air?
Yeah, it's been a while. I've been in Poughkeepsie, New York for the last 3 months.
All right, business?
Yes, sir.
All right. Everything all right?
Yeah, we're just upgrading some 911 equipment up there.
Roger that, and they need you up there on the job site.
You got it.
Been there, done that, except it wasn't equipment, man. I was up there on construction sites in different places, Buffalo and different ones that needed wallpaper.
Yeah, something's going on where they're suddenly upgrading equipment.
Wonder why?
Probably because they got federal dollars to spend. You got to spend them or you don't get no more. That's how that works, you know, in federal budgets. If you don't spend this quarter's money, you don't get the same amount next quarter.
Yeah, that's right.
And then it got quiet.
Oh no!
Well, I got the Texas Star in line with the preamp on, and that's making life better, and so far so good.
Well, I think with the preamp on, it may work okay because you're bypassing the relay.
Well, it wasn't okay, though.
Oh, even with the preamp on, it was fluctuating?
That's a big 10-4, good buddy.
Interesting.
And that brought you up the preamp. Maybe I'm just so used to using the preamp. I don't know. Or maybe all my S meters are out of cal, but now you're an S8.
Yeah, but that ain't right. I remember being running that radio before. I was well over a 9 with the preamp on. Usually like 10 over or something. Of course, it's hard to tell because you flip it on and off. Unless it was fluctuating then too.
Well, there was fluctuation was going on for a long time. But also, like, I'm also on that quarter wave, so I don't know how much that's influencing things, but apparently it doesn't seem to change my transmit too much, so it shouldn't change my receive too much, I wouldn't think. So I don't know what to make of it.
Yeah, but I do believe that the quarter wave is the root of this issue. It radiates differently. And that's, there's some kind of weird blockage going on between you and me. Evidently JR too, but I don't know, certain antennas get around it, others do not.
And I always thought, or I always felt that this Tram Titan's S meter was pretty close, but I don't know. Things seem lower.
Yeah.
Hate when that happens.
That's all right. Still here, everybody. I can hear Bite Buster and everybody else. Haven't missed anybody yet, so maybe the signal strengths aren't the same, but I still hear everybody, so that's a win.
You can always put your other antenna back up.
It only take 10 minutes.
It only takes 10 minutes. I thought I had you talked into doing that.
I hadn't had the 10 minutes.
Oh, man.
Yeah, he's going to have to wait till Monday.
Yeah, I'm back to work.
Everything can change in 10 minutes.
And Bite Buster's coming in here with his customary S4 with the preamp on.
I actually hear Bite Buster tonight.
I can hear him too if I throw the beam up at him. He's coming in really, it's like an S5 on my end.
Well, I don't have an S5 on him, but I hear him really nice.
And Train gets the big signal tonight at 10 dB over 9.
Train's usually 20 over on that meter.
Yeah, I know. So there must be a difference with this antenna and the other antenna. It's the only thing I could figure. Because everything else, I guess, is the same. But I'm not seeing the fluctuation, and I would have seen it by now if it was going to do it.
I should have put the Utopia on. That meter I trust more than any other.
It has one awesome meter, just as linear as it want to be.
I really need to run my radios through the signal generator again and check them all out. It's been a long time since I've done that.
So I tried on 1885. Pete and Dave was down in the grass. I'm like, nah, this is not gonna work.
Yeah, I don't know why. He wasn't in the grass to me. He was his customary 30 dB over 9 here. Piero was in there. Mike was in there. He's upstate PA. SLK, W3 SLK, I think is his call. He was in there, and yeah, Piero, Dave, and Mike. We were all in there. They were still going on at 8 o'clock when I left.
I know. I was listening to him a little bit, but I was down a little farther on the band. I was talking to a guy in Tennessee, and he'd done better than Dave. At least we were able to talk.
Yeah. Well, hey, you were still having fun on the medium wave, so, and it's working. I can't speak for what Dave's power level is or whatever, but even when he's running, like, he goes down to silly watts, low watts, and I still hear him.
Yeah, well, I can't. I mean, I hear him, and I know it's him, but that ugly noise takes him out. So he's in between. He's like right in there. Ooh. But it wasn't like that a few weeks ago.
Well, I dug out a transistor radio. If you want to borrow a transistor radio to try to hunt that down.
Yeah, maybe we'll get together. Yeah. Because that's nasty. It's nasty. I turned the lights out and figured, I tried it. But the guy in Tennessee was doing all right. I'm like, all right, well, we talked a little bit.
That's weird, because I heard David like S8 on my end, which is, for me, that's good.
That's real good, Bagger.
Yeah, he was 40 over here.
Yeah, he was 30 over plus or minus that all night to me, no problem at all. So maybe since you reorientated your antenna, you might have put a null in his direction. You may need to change the direction of the antenna. Should have left it where it was.
Yeah, it could be true.
I'm serious. Changing the direction of your antenna may have just put him in a null.
It could have, yeah. But who's going to come and change that around?
Well, I would have left that yellow leg right where it was, man. That was beautiful.
Yeah.
Oh, you moved your antenna?
He made me move it.
How long ago did you do that? That was a while ago, wasn't it?
Yeah, I don't know how long ago it was, but yeah, he had us move the antenna, and the feed point's not as high, and the whole thing's not as high.
Well, that could be a problem. But, yeah, you could have nulled Dave out. Certainly isn't because he's not putting out as well. But if you're talking to other people that are fine, it sounds like Pete's problem right here. Certain nulls, certain directions. You have a problem. Others maybe not so much.
Just the fact that you were talking to Tennessee with no problem, and you were hearing him fine, and you can't hear Dave, that tells me you put Dave in a null with moving that antenna.
Yeah, it sounds like he's in the null.
Nobody puts baby in the corner.
Yeah, 5/7 wouldn't like to know that he's nulled out. He'll start turning the wick up and overcome the null if he knows it.
I sent him a recording of it. I think that was last week. He got it. He heard himself. He heard what I was dealing with.
So what kind of noise level do you get when you got it?
Yeah, it's not as bad as it used to be. But like you said, he's in the null, so Everybody else sound good. Whoever it was he was talking to, I could hear them.
That's just ridiculous. It really is.
I thought he did something.
I hear him when he's running like 10 or 20 watts all the way up to his maximum smoke. I can hear him all the time.
Yeah, then he must be in the know.
And I don't think he was running low power tonight. You can never quite tell, but I don't think he was. I think he was running at least 100 watts or something, but I can't be certain of that because I didn't ask and he didn't say.
Yeah, he said he's got some work to do around there, and he's going to change things around, and he's going to get back to me with an industrial commercial signal.
Oh, he's going to give you an MRI exam from his QTH.
There you go. But anyhow, I was on there, same frequency. The other night, there was a couple guys in there, man, and no problems at all. They sound good, nice and thick, you know. I'm like, wow.
Yeah, well, now I'm in there with freaking low power because my new fancy transmitter died again.
Yeah, I heard little things about that. I would take it that you're going to send it back to the man.
It's already on the road. It's already on the road back to the man. But I'm done with it.
That's right. So is he going to take it back? And he ain't giving you your money back. I guess you have to sell it.
Yeah, he'll fix it and then I'll sell it.
That's right. That's right, Pete.
We are gathered here today.
Right, to a love offering on the table for Pete for a steel tube.
That's right. That's right. I'm going to get a steel tube amplificator, put it on the back end of my glowing glass multi-LMAC with my broadcast audio.
There you go.
Yeah, just say no to MOSFETs.
Yep, I never liked them, and that's now there's the reason why I don't. Reinforced.
Oh, man.
I'm funny and they blow out.
No more stupid MOSFET transmitters for me. I'm done with that crap.
I don't blame you, Pete.
Glowing glass, baby. Glowing glass.
Yeah, tubes at least let you know when they're going to go bad.
Yeah, and you could overmodulate them. You could tune them into a bad SWR, and they go, eh.
What'd you say, Train? Tubes drool?
No, they ruled.
Oh.
Yep, tubes rule. Don't care about overmodulation. Don't care about distortion. Don't really care about SWR. They just shrug it all off.
Well, they'll just amplify distortion. Garbage in, garbage out.
It's all right. They won't blow up because of it.
No, not at all.
You can make mistakes with tubes, and unless it's a really poor or really bad mistake, they don't care.
Yeah, you could make a mistake where you put your hand on that tip and that coil that's right next to it.
Well, you put your fingers on the plate of the final. That's not the tube's fault. That's yours.
Then again, you could be like old 05, keying up a gassy tube.
Yeah, but he was overdriving the snot out of that. He knew what he was doing. And the tube still took it for a little while.
Well, that was a good thing. Which tube was that he was able to do like that?
I think it was a 3500Z.
I don't know if it was a 3500 or a 4400. It was one of those pulls that he bought off of eBay, and I guess it was already gassy, and he saw that in the amp and went like, okay, I'm going to key it down until it blows up. And it did.
I think it was a 4400 now that you mention it.
Was it blue on the inside there, Dave?
No, that's not gassy. That's the blue is something different. When it's gassy, it usually has like an orangey glow, or it's orangey yellowish glow inside further.
Like a little candle burning in the night.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, kind of like the plasma look of a candle.
Because I like that blue, man. I used to love that when I was a boy. My Lafayette. There was one tube in there, man. It had a little blue going on, man. They had the orange and they had the blue. Man, I had that thing open. I had the lights off, man. I didn't have a glass of wine, but you know.
That homebrew 250th amp that I had, it had a little blue up on the top of the glass that would move around with your modulation. Oh, it was so cool to watch.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I used to think that when the tube started showing blue that it was getting weak. It was, and that's when I would say, oh, time for new ones.
I like my little Blu-ray.
That blue was cool to watch modulating on that big old Edison bulb.
Yeah, all the little electrons dancing around inside.
I thought it was wild how it just modulated with your voice. I'm like, look at that. Look how cool that is. Man, I wish I had a videoed that.
Well, take the cover off the multi-LMAC. Maybe there's a blue tube flickering with modulation in there.
Yeah, well, there was something going on there when I put it up here on 11 meters. Like, I don't know why the hell that didn't work out, because I've used it on this band before. Now I modified it and ruined it.
Pete, when you go back to work?
Like I said, maybe you got some kind of RF feedback going on there. Because, you know, when you start doing strange modifications like that, you know, things like that can happen.
Well, he had me clipping capacitors out and feeding it cathodes, and you know, so I made all these changes, and that's the first I used it up on 11 meters since the changes. And before I did all the changes with the using a D104, I never had an issue. Now I did these changes, and now I got issues. I'm not happy about it. But well, maybe I'll be able to straighten it out. I'm gonna have to. I told him, I said, you get me going down these rabbit holes, I'm gonna bug you till all the problems are solved. And trained to answer your question. That was today.
All right, so you actually went in today?
Yep, 10-4.
I'm just not understanding why he had you cutting out the cathode bypass capacitors, because that's what sets your AC gain of the stage. And if you cut those caps out, it lowers the gain. So unless you deliberately wanted to do that for some reason or another.
Yeah, I think he has an ultimate goal. I got to finish doing the mods to make it complete with that feedback loop.
Yeah, I'm a little leery of that because I mean I know what that's all about. That's basically a modulation limiter, you know. When you have more audio coming back around, it's going to reduce the gain of the audio driver. But there was no provision there for like an RC time constant or something in there. So it's going to be kind of instantaneous and might end up being choppy. You want something that's going to attack quickly but smooth out and pull out slowly, slow decay. Otherwise, it might get too choppy. I mean, those values he put in there. Did he ever do this to one of those radios before, or is he just pulling numbers out of a hat?
No, he got this schematic off of somebody that he knows that did this mod who had one of these radios. Not he himself, but he knows those mods, and he says that's the kind of mods that he does to his Johnsons. Very, very similar stuff. And he didn't say anything about a limiting function with that feedback. He did say that it'll reduce gain, but he also says it gets rid of any distortion or any hum. So, because I asked him, like, what's the goal here with why am I doing all this? And that's what he said.
Was that 507 that told you all of these things?
Yeah, he's having me, quote unquote, hot rod my multi-LMAC. I'm feeding my outboard audio processing gear into the multi-LMAC, and the first modification worked out great to do that. But then when I cut that second capacitor, the one off the 12AU7, Dave, when I cut that one, that seemed like a step backwards from the initial modification of just feeding into the cathode.
Well, yeah, because you knocked the gain down.
He said all it did was cut high frequency.
No. Whenever you have a grid-driven audio amplifier, you set the bias by pulling the cathode off of ground. By rights, the cathode should be at ground. But then you would need a negative voltage on the control grid to keep it from, conducting all the time and going cherry. But so self-biasing it, you raise the cathode off of ground with a resistor, and that keeps the tube in the right bias. But it also reduces the gain because of that resistance value. So to get your AC gain back, you bypass the resistor with a capacitor. So audio signals will still be amplified to ground. It's basically taking it to ground from an AC perspective, but it's from a DC perspective, you're going through that resistor. So those capacitors are there for gain. You actually, if you take the capacitor out, what it usually does is it reduces gain and kind of makes it sort of nasally and thin. I usually increase the value of the cap, and that usually improves low end frequency response.
So you're saying I should put that cap back in with a larger value?
That's what I would do, but that's me.
Okay, let's just assume for a moment that I put that cap back in with a larger value and continue on with that feedback loop. What results will that be?
It might not feedback.
With that feedback loop, I mean, to me, it looks like the kind of feedback that you get when you have a population limiter. It takes your high end audio and feeds it back to the driver stage, and as your audio increases, it starts to reduce the gain. It's kind of like an AGC. The more signal you got coming out, the more it reduces the gain, so you don't overmodulate.
So by listening to your explanation, I need to put that cap back on the 12AU7 and even increase the value and just stop right there.
Well, you can try that. I mean, it'll either work or it won't.
Well, what I'm getting at is, like, all this extra work doesn't sound like I'm really going to gain anything useful. Like he explained it a little bit differently, but now I'm starting to question, like, what am I actually going to gain from doing all this extra work?
I don't know, man. He's the pusher, man. I don't know.
Especially since, though, before I cut that cap out, and I was on the air with the damn thing on 160, and everybody was saying it was fine business, old man. So I probably should have just stopped right there.
Is that the coupling capacitor, Dave?
It's like the Munch TV theory. You start cutting parts out till it stops working, and then you put the last one back in and go, okay, ship it.
Is that the coupling capacitor, Dave?
No, this is the cathode bypass capacitor.
And going back to the plate cap, what would be the best value then on the plate cap of the 6AU6 on the preamp tube?
The plate cap, what, the one that couples from that stage to V7?
Yeah, that's right.
I would just up that value. If you're using V6 as your mic preamp, then I would try an increased value again for low end frequency response.
Okay, so the original value was a 005, and I think he told me to put in a 0.1. Well, I didn't have an actual 0.1, but I had two of something else, two sixes or something, because I needed something that was rated over 100 volts. So my values got limited when you put a voltage rating on there. So anyway, what I wound up with is I think like some. Anyway, the value I wound up with is 0.12. So that's not too fat. That's good.
Yeah, that sounds good to me.
All right, so I can leave that be.
Yeah, I mean that's it's all about increasing your low end frequency response. That's that's how they keep it communications quality audio. It rolls off at 300 hertz, so you increase those capacitors and pull that low end up. That's pretty much what I did with this thing.
Yeah, okay, so I'm good with the 0.12 there. I think I'm going to put that V7 cap back to ground, and I think I'm just going to stop. I think I'm going to refuse the drugs, because it got me to feed the audio in, at the best place at the first stage cathode there, and it really sounded good. So I don't see any benefit to all this other stuff. I really don't. Not if it was sounding really good. I got fat audio, low end frequency response, high end, sounding good. I see no benefit for the rest of this nonsense then.
Well, that video gate that you sent me, at what stage were you at when you did that?
I think that's before I cut out the V7 cap.
Oh, well, then you need to put them back, because that sounded good then. I wouldn't have touched anything.
Yep, that's what yep. Yeah, I think that video gate I sent you was just the first mod. That was when I first put the outboard audio into the cathode there, and then later on, which was after that, I cut out that other cap because he said so, and then he sent me the schematic. Well, you got to do this and this and this too, and I'm like,
It only gets worse.
I don't think I'm going to do it. I don't think I am. I think I'm putting that cap back, and then maybe even with something fatter, and then call it good, because I thought it was sounding good. He sent me video gates, and I was like, my God, this thing sounds good now.
That's right. It sounded good before you started.
Well, I couldn't use the outboard audio before on the multi LMAC. Now I can and take advantage of it.
That's good.
Yeah, so I would replace that cap again and see what that ends up with.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna do that. And this is got me thinking silly stuff, but so if I wanted to feed and take advantage of the audio and the B&W, it would be the same thing then, right? Like the cathode of the first stage preamp?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, very similar, same kind of deal.
Because I could do that without really changing anything. Just put in another cord so I could have my choice of the regular microphone jack and or outboard audio, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I might put in a separate line just for that.
What you using for an amp right now, Pete?
My baby driver into my 8-pill.
All right.
Good old Texas Star.
Nope. Texas Star is only doing preamp duty.
Oh.
Which seems to be working because everybody's signal is steady, not bouncing around. So sandbagger for the win on that one.
I told you, man,
Yeah, you told me, but we had to work together to narrow that down exactly.
What you guys do? Tuned it so it would work on that band or something?
No, you're mixing apples and oranges. We're talking about my intermittent receive I've been having for months. Turns out it's the freaking preamp switch was dirty in my Texas Star.
All right.
Oh, you cleaned the switch?
Clean the switch, clean the relay, clean all the switches and the relay. But I cleaned the relay before, but I ignored the switches. This time I did them all. It seems to fix it.
Yeah, I thought that preamp switch might have been the culprit.
Yeah, I think that's the culprit because everything's fine business now.
Well, that's a good thing. See that? It's just a shame you didn't, take my advice a couple of months ago, and you would have saved all this aggravation.
Yeah, but I thought I did. I thought I bypassed all that crap. I really thought I tried bypassing all that crap. I must have. I don't know. I thought I did, but obviously I didn't.
Unless you did have a problem with your feed line at one point, and that you actually had two separate problems.
I changed out a bunch of jumpers. A bunch of jumpers are over in a scrap pile for recycling. Pull all the connectors off, throw that away, and then make new jumpers. But all that is all in a pile right now to get the recycle the PL259s and throw that coax away because I got a whole pile of jumpers that didn't pass.
Yeah, waiting for that Thursday trash call.
Oh no, that goes in the copper scrap pile.
Oh.
You kidding me? Copper's too valuable.
That's where all the money's at.
Yellow metals, boy.
Yeah, buddy.
There's money in yellow metals. Whenever I go to the range and go shoot, I pick up all my brass and all the other brass that's laying around. I pick it all up.
In your pocket.
That's right. It's going in my pocket. Take it to the recyclers. They give me money, and then I go buy more brass and lead.
Craig.
Skyrider, you got it.
Good evening, guys. I was listening to that technical discussion. Stuff in, stuff out. Hopefully it works for you. Just was dialing down from the ham bands, and I said, hey, there's already action. That's early action for 13 tonight.
I think our action was right on scheduled time, but yeah. Well, I'm glad you caught some of that technical discussion. It's all good. It's kind of what Classic Radio Roundup was founded upon. Although it'd probably be better if you had a schematic to follow along with.
Oh, well, yeah, no, I tell you what. I'm not, you're right. I'm not familiar with the amp you were working on there, but it was interesting there. Jumpers in, jumpers out. Capacitor in, capacitor out, or now it's back in, is that right?
Well, I got to put it back in, but it's basically really we're talking about an audio amp, I guess, in the radio, and how best to drive it with external audio and get the most out of it and get it all matched up, and how to get the good frequency response and all that kind of thing. So it's a learning curve for me too. You can tell me what to do, but it's more helpful if I understand why I'm doing it.
Yeah, roger that. Yeah, but yeah, I was looking at my amp tonight, and actually, the one thing what I was concerned about, the bleeder resistors, that's already taken care of in both of my amps, so I don't have to worry about that. My next project is my Power Star to change out the dial. Like JR had to do, is that right, JR? It's getting there.
That's right. I'm anxious for you. I really am. Good evening there, Skyrider. Good to hear you in there. And, yep, that's awesome. Step by step, but it's coming. You're running out of time. Old man winter's on the horizon there, so got to get to it. But it's going to be awesome.
Yep, yeah, I'm home this weekend. I'm not going to be going anywhere anymore, so I'm going to get rolling there so that I get that second coax on the tuner. So, hey, good evening, train over there over the hill.
Good evening there, Skyrider. Nice to hear you.
And Dave, I hear you in there too.
Yeah, I'm here.
Roger that. So, yeah, I was hurt tonight in Australia. It's the first time I got it, but I couldn't hear them very well, so I had somebody relaying from California. He suddenly came in and said, "Hey, you hear these guys down in Australia? They hear you and the guy in New Zealand."
I ain't bad. Skyrod has all the luck.
Has an alligator station.
And like I said, it's all still D'Amico 5000, but it was on 10 meters, so the antenna is fairly good match for that.
Yeah, that's nice. You do pretty good.
I worked California the other day on 10 meters AM, which for AM on that band, that's pretty good.
Yeah, Roger that. I think mainly when I get dialing into AM is on 40 meter in the upper part there of the band. There's usually 3-4 guys that do AM. That's nice too, especially when the background noise is not there. That sounds really good.
Oh yeah, the top end of 40 meters there is a good AM watering hole, and yeah, there's people in there day and nighttime, both on AM that part of the band.
Yeah, and often a lot of technical talk, and I like that.
Oh yeah, yep. They'll rope you in, and then you'll have you know, cutting capacitors and bypassing this and snipping that and adding this to your radio. That'll be the next thing. All in the pursuit of high fidelity amplitude modulation.
Yeah, Roger that. Now all my radios are still under warranty. There's no screwdriver is going on these little screws. If the radio transmits, it's gonna transmit till that warranty is up.
Well, the transceiver that I'm working on is over 70 years old. It's all vacuum tube, so you know I can get my fingers in there and deal with it.
Of course, yeah. Yeah, I tell you what, with the Anytone, tones, I don't have any trouble either. But with a $1,500 radio, I keep my hands out. That's actually one thing. Also, I want to do. I want to clean up the frequency registers on my 2 Anytone radios to line them up. After 10 meter on the lower ones, then in the middle the 11, and then on the top the 12 and 15 meter. So that's another thing, but that's just the programming thing. I don't have to put a screwdriver on it.
Yeah, well, my Yaesu transceiver, I keep my fingers out. I ain't messing with that. But the vacuum tube radio, doing hi-fi modifications on it, it's all good, you know. It's what any good ham would do that wants to pursue that would do anyway. So I'm not doing anything that's in any kind of violation.
No, I'm not saying it has anything to do with the violation. You know, it is. It's all, you know. It's the service mount. It's all really tiny parts. You know, and it's just. When you look at the schematic of one of these SDRs versus a good tube radio, and the tube radio, well, I'm not too familiar with tubes, but I can look at the schematic, you know, and say, oh, okay, this is that, you know. On these modern SDRs, holy moly, that goes right over my head.
No, we're on the same page. That's what I was saying. My new modern Yaesu, I'm not going in there and attempting to do this nonsense. But my 70-year-old tube transmitter that I can follow the schematic and find the parts inside the radio to do whatever modifications are necessary, yeah, I'm doing that. But to do that same kind of nonsense in my modern Yaesu, no, that's not happening.
Yeah, absolutely right there. I'm with you. I'm with you with that. And the funny part on these Anytone. Now, wait a minute. You know how people talk about these Mars modifications for these ham radios? What is in principle just changing a jumper around on one radio? I think on the FTDX10, and then reboot the radio. I think it's not worth it. you get yourself just in trouble by dialing into the wrong part of the band, you know.
Oh, I've been opening up all my radios for years now, and I'm an extra class, so as long as I'm within the amateur radio bands, I'm good. And I know where the amateur radio band limits are. I don't worry about it. I know where I'm at, and then I can use it on 11 meters. And I don't do any free banding or anything. Like, the only reason I open it up is so I can use it on 11 meters. I know where the band edges are. I don't go outside the band edges, and I can go anywhere within that, so I'm good. But yeah, the only reason I modified it, well, then there was an exception on Easter Sunday, and that's probably all I'm going to say about that. And Sandbagger's going to laugh because he shared in it.
Yeah, I don't know the story. Here with my not the E's or the any tones. That's I went in and changed the jumpers around. That's the reason why I can talk here on this any tone on 11 meters, you know. But these are also not high-powered radios that you do that anybody would be bothered with it, you know.
Remember Easter Sunday there, Sandbagger?
Easter Sunday. This year, last year, 10 years ago?
Well, maybe it wasn't Easter Sunday, but it was certainly really close to it if it wasn't Easter. I think it was Easter Sunday. It was Easter Sunday on, would that be 39 meters?
Oh, you mean when we said play some more?
That's right. So just being able to do that was worth doing all that.
Yeah, talking to the pirates.
That was so cool.
Play some more. And he said, okay.
Yeah, okay. I think I got another 20 minutes worth of music here. All right, guys. Because he knew we had at least 2 people listening.
That was fun. I was like, yeah, that was right when I, shortly after I put the 40-meter stick up, I'm like, ooh, this thing's actually working.
That's one of those radio stories that I will never forget. That's right up there with working the Carolinas on 900 megahertz, working the Mir space station, my first contact to Japan, Australia, Korea, that kind of thing. That's right up there, man. That's like one of them radio stories I'm never going to forget.
It was fun.
I'm communicating with the pirate, and he acknowledged us as, okay, I'll play more. I got 20 minutes worth of music. That was funny as heck.
I remember that.
Oh, that was great, man. I'm never going to forget it. And it was one of our favorite pirates, too. DJ Dickweed on Radio Free Whatever.
I haven't heard him in a while. Hope he's okay, or well, maybe he's just got a different schedule now.
Yeah, I know. I haven't ran into his station in a while neither.
Yeah, I was gonna say, is he still doing it?
I would be curious to know where he was broadcasting from.
Yeah, I don't know there, Bite Buster. Them guys, they sort of come and go, or they hang around for a while and disappear for a while, and then they're back again. They don't really ever really follow a schedule. They seem to be like there for a while and then disappear and may or may not come back.
Yeah, maybe he lost his antennas or something.
Man, without FCC enforcement right now, being FCC shut down, like right now is the perfect time to pirate broadcast.
Yeah, that's true. I guess the government shutdown has pretty much put the FCC on furlough.
Yeah, like enforcement's been light the last several years anyway, so it's only going to be lighter.
Speaking of enforcement,
announcement. Did you see they took out a sub in the Pacific?
Oh, one of them semi-submersible drug boats?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I heard about it. I didn't see it.
He must have turned off his amplifier. He's in the mud now.
Well, he may be in the mud, but I still hear him on my quarter wave ground plane. It's semi-homemade.
Okay, sorry about that.
That's more better.
That's more like it, Bike Buster. I thought you was fading, man.
And I can still hear him on my quarter wave ground plane.
Oh, boy.
So, for what it's worth, quarter wave ground plane, it works.
Unity gain on a shoestring budget.
Well, it was all in the effort to troubleshoot. But since it's up there, I thought I'd check it out for a little bit and see what it does.
Well, it's kind of negating whatever improvements I might have made on the beam.
Yeah, well, I'll probably put the IMAX back up on Monday. And Sunday, I might be able to find time on Sunday afternoon. If I do, I will.
Yeah, well, you can. I guess you ought to replace that center section that you said was cracked.
Yep. I'm gonna do that. And then I got. I thought Rooster would have been in tonight because I fixed his Browning and it's working, and he picked it up, and he's got an IMAX for me, but I got to go pick it up. But I think I may need assistance because they won't fit my stinking car.
It would, but it'd be hanging out a whole.
Which I still don't have my car. Should be done tomorrow though, but I won't be able to pick it up till Friday.
Well, what was the reason for the holdup? Just too much work and
Well, if you really want to hear that story, I don't know if I don't want to bore everybody else, but there's a little bit of a story to that.
Well, you can give us the Reader's Digest condensed version.
Well, as you know, or maybe you don't know, but so my car, I didn't exactly get brand new. It had 5,000 miles on it when I got it, but I got it at the dealer and they said it was a repo. All right, so fine, whatever. It's still brand new and I got a good price on it, and yeah, essentially new in my mind, but not technically not. So it turns out that apparently my car had some kind of damage in that first 5,000 miles. And he says it wasn't in an accident, but it was dented up. And he thinks hail damage or something, some kind of damage, but not a crash. So my front clip and fenders apparently were painted at some point before, and part of my hood. So that put more time into him because he couldn't just scratch it and then paint it again. He had to take it down to bare metal and start over. So that all took extra time. I'm like, oh, well, that's all information I didn't know.
Yeah, it was probably out on the lot when we had all those hailstorms or whatever a couple of years back. You remember that? That was, it was a bunch of years ago now, but that was nasty. A lot of cars got dinged.
Well, apparently mine was one of them. So it took extra hours for them to strip and get it right. So I was like, I'd rather it take longer and be right than cut corners and be fast.
There you go. Make it right. And then hopefully it lasts. Did you find out how he was doing the repairs? Was he putting sheet metal in there, or was he just going to slap the mud in there?
No, they cut out a section and then TIG welded in some sheet metal.
All right, that's the right way to do it. Okay, good.
He says the reason it rusted there in the first place is because the way they join the body panels together where they spot weld, they put foam in between. And the foam acts like a sponge and absorbs moisture and doesn't let it go.
Yep, that's absolutely right. Oh, man.
I'm like, oh, well, great. All right. Well, what about all the other 9th gen Civics that I see running around that are all beat to snot with the clear coat peeling off, and they don't have rust? And I waxed the shit out of my car. Whoops, sorry about that. And you know, garage keep it and all, and I get the rust.
And that's all that traveling on 476 in the salt.
Yeah, probably a couple of winters and the snowstorms and all.
I mean, you know, you get that salt on there, and the salt water gets in that foam, and you've got a dielectric there. Perfect conditions for corrosion.
Yeah, well, lucky me, but yeah, it's all nipped in the bud, taken care of.
So that mic you're using, is it handheld or a desk mic?
What, my mic? It's a Turner Plus 2.
It's what is that? A desk mic?
Yeah, it's a desk mic with crappy contacts.
Okay. Because it sounds like you're like, you know, swinging around and you know, everything's going.
Only when I key and unkey, not when I'm actually talking, I don't think.
A little bit when you're talking. I don't know if you have the gate going, but you can listen to yourself.
Well, the gate going's not going to tell me anything because I'm not hearing what I'm transmitting. Because I'm only hearing my own voice. I'm not hearing what's going out over the air on the gate. So you would have to have a gate that I would have to listen to. But no, it's a desk mic, and I'm just flipping the lock bar back and forth because that works the best. If I use the push bar, it's just a mess. But it's one of them projects that's low on my list to take the mic apart and clean all the contacts, and too many other irons in the fire to get to that.
Or you could just change the mic out.
Well, that's not as easy as you think because it's a Tram Titan with a really weird mic plug, and I have no other mics with that plug, nor do I even know where to get that really weird mic plug. So, no, it's not the option that you think that it is.
Yeah, I've been there, done that. I tried to solder one of these 5-pin DIN type plugs together, and it was, oh my God. You know, I have to, you gotta have like micro-sized fingers.
Oh, yeah, the 5-pin Radio Shack DINs, they're a real SOB. This thing is, what is the mic plug on this, Dave? I think it's a 4-pin. It's a 4-pin, but it's a really different, weird 4-pin than what you're used to in 4-pins.
Yeah, it's a 4-pin. All the trams do use that particular connector.
Yeah, I don't even know what to call it.
Actually, let me clarify that. All the Tram 2 bases do. The Titan 2, the Titan 3, the Titan 4, the D201, they all use that same plug.
Yeah, and it's the only plug I have, the only mic I have with that plug, and no other radios with that plug. So, you know, the mic works with this radio, and that's it.
Yeah, I took mine and made an adapter granter out of it, so I can run any mic on it.
Yeah, and then where would I find that weird 4-pin socket to use and another plug to make an adapter granter?
Oh, I just used I don't know where I actually got the plug. I forget where I got it, but it came with one of the trams I got, I guess, and I just put a 4-pin, standard 4-pin on the other end of the tram 4-pin, and you know, there it is.
Well, yeah, I would still need the 4. Well, no, I would have to undo this, and all right, yeah, I could do it with this one. Yeah, I guess I could if I was really motivated enough to do so.
Yeah, you know, we put the standard Cobra wiring on the 4-pin plug, and you know, then any mic you got that's wired that way will work on the tram with the adapter granter.
Yeah, if I was motivated to do so, maybe someday.
If you get around to it, and nobody ever gets around to it.
No, I got a radio drug dealer having me doing hot rod AM audio modifications. I got too much on my plate to be screwing around with mic plugs.
Yeah, the drugs get more and more intense the more you go.
Well, I am learning stuff, and I am getting to use at least part of my investment in the audio gear. It's not going to waste.
Nah, you wouldn't want to waste all that investment.
I should send you a gate that G3YPZ sent me. I had it plugged into the Yaesu, and I was talking to him on 10 meters, and he didn't like the way it was set up. He says I had too much bass. So he had me shaping it all around, and he had me all pooching up the high end and everything, cutting the low end, this and that. And I guess I listened to the gate, and I'm like, that don't sound that bad. But Dave was like, he was like ready to throw up. And but it was like really punchy and really like, copyable down in a noising kind of thing. So it worked. It wasn't hi-fi, but maybe I should send it to you and you could judge. I didn't think it sounded that bad, but Dave was throwing up all over my feed.
Well, that's your difference between the guys that prefer contest quality audio, which is pooch to the high end and not a lot of low end, designed to bust up pile-ups and get through the noise, versus rag chew guys that like broadcast sounding audio that has a lot of lows. It's a difference in taste.
Yeah, but I think it also matters the conditions that you're dealing with too. When there's a lot of QSB and whatnot, that high end pooched audio, I mean, it works.
Yes, it does for that purpose. If you're going to be doing DXing and whatnot, and you want to be heard, yeah. I mean, that's the thing. The low end, 100 hertz and less, might be appealing, from a taste perspective, but there's not much energy there. It doesn't make the distance. That's all in the higher end. It punches through all that.
Yeah. And after I did all that, he was like, blah. I'm like, yeah, well, I was tailoring it for the receiving end, like what he wanted to hear, and I could always put it back. It's like, that's what he wanted to hear. And he goes, well, the guy is a really good jazz musician, but it's not much of an audio tech. I'm like, ah. So anyway, I was just kind of funny, but I didn't think it sounded. He's very critical. He's very critical of what he wants to hear and what he doesn't want to hear. But I don't know. Maybe I'm not so critical, or maybe I don't care, or maybe I just wanted to use what works for the moment.
Oh yeah, he is hypercritical, and he's got his preferences, and no other preferences are allowed.
Well, he did put in those disclaimers that, well, yeah, that's what he likes, but that's not what I like, and that kind of thing. But anyway, I'm all about fooling around and trying different things out and see what works. And that particular time on that particular band in those particular conditions, that's what worked.
Well, then again, you got all those little sliders with all those little frequencies on them, and they're not super glued in place, so you are free to move them about as you wish, and as the conditions dictate, you can do whatever you want. And if you're going to rag chew on 160 with local, something, whatever you want to call them, local guys, It's one setting. If you're going to talk on 10 meters to your buddies over there across the pond, well, maybe you need a different setting. You know, but that's why you got adjustables.
That's kind of the way that I see it. But then I have to remember what settings for what radio, for what band, for what conditions. That's the whole thing. I can't always remember what it is that I need to do or what I did. You know, it's still all kind of new as far as that goes.
Well, when you get it set right, you whip out your phone and take a picture of it. And that way, when you want to return to it the next time, you can just look at it and go, okay.
Well, that's what I've started to do. I'm going to start keeping a notebook, a logbook of that crap. These settings for this radio, these settings for that radio, this band, that band.
That was a bit of a double. I mean, you and Skyrider kind of keyed up as a...
Yeah, I wasn't quick enough to get in there. I said, it makes all no difference if somebody bleeds through from 7 channels up.
Hopefully you don't hear that on the ham band.
Yeah, that's pretty rare on the ham bands.
It's right here. It's one of my closest neighbors here. He skipped up to channel 20.
You're telling on me, Skyrider.
Yeah, I telling on you. You're making my audio sound funny.
Oh, man, we too close.
What are you doing, down getting on 20?
I went up there to wave the hand. This channel was busy.
Okay, there you go, Pete. We're hogging it way too much, so I'm going to sit back for a bit then.
That's all right. Take it over, because I got to go take a pause for the cause anyway. Countywide radio on Classic Radio Roundup. The gate is rolling.
Wow, Skyrider, you heard me all the way up on 20, huh?
Yeah. I couldn't understand you, but I know something was going on in the neighborhood, so I just flipped up. Usually it's 1 or 2 ends up, somebody driving through or so, you know. And I said, no, my God, now I'm already on 18 and still not there. And then ended up on 20 and I heard you there. I'm not sure who you were talking to.
I was talking to 45 down there by the Mason-Dixon line.
Yeah, roger that. Yeah, no, I just went up and see who it is, and then I came back down for a second, you know, so that I can snitch on you that you busted out here.
Yeah, you told me. I caught you, man. I heard you because I could actually hear your bleed over. And I said, that's Skyrider. Let me go down and hear what he's saying. And I come down and I hear you dropping the dime on me.
Yeah, roger that. Yeah, well, I'm not sure what. That radio puts it's set at full power right now, so it's probably about the same with. Well, you may add a little bit more going there, but yeah, this one is right now kicking.
Yeah, this is all this got. I don't have anything over here except for this, and it has its own amplifier.
Yeah, this here is just I don't know how many pills are in here, 1 or 2. It puts about 100 out, you know.
Roger that. Yeah. I don't know what this put out. I'll be honest with you. I don't even have a meter, man. I just brought it over here because I got the antenna now coming to the shack, and I was testing it. I just wanted to know what it was like.
Yeah, roger that. Now you're sounding good. That's definitely not an issue there. You know, you're doing just fine there.
I do better on this than I do on that ham radio because I don't have that noise.
Yeah, roger.
Go ahead, J.R.
No, that was me. I was just chuckling. All the funky noises.
Yeah, I think them noises has something to do with the band itself, because this thing right here sounds perfect.
Well, yeah, I mean, you know, I get it too. I get different noises Some days I get it on 40 meters, and some days I get it on 80. Sometimes it's a buzzing noise, and sometimes it's something. Sometimes it's something else, and I don't know where it comes from. It's not coming from anything of mine. It's either atmospheric, but it's pretty strong for that, or it's neighbors' solar panels, or whatever junk they might be plugged into the wall.
I'll tell you what, Bagger, I'm almost persuaded to believe that 11-meter band is one of the better bands.
Well, the higher up you go in frequency, the less noise is going to be in there. You get up to 2 meters and you don't hear nothing.
Oh, all right, yeah. Well, this is nice, and I was wondering if maybe my neighbor had something going on. I was wondering this and wondering that. And I put this thing in here and everything is nice. It's normal. Only thing is, my feet are a little bit cold.
You have to put that foot warmer on.
Are you in Studio B now?
Yeah, I'm in Studio B, man. I wanted to stretch out a little bit, but the channel was busy.
Oh, did you, so that coax you ran was from which antenna was that?
The one high up, the ground plane. I got a line directly in here from the ground plane. And then I got a switch box, and I'm supposed to put a ground that'll go up to the house. And then I'll have to remember to switch to house before I leave out of here.
Okay, so that's the way that I was saying to do it. Okay. Oh, that's good. You're in Studio B. Nice.
That I am, man. I'm in Studio B, and I got the heat on, but my feet are cold.
Wow, you need heavy-duty socks, man.
Gotta get me some old man socks.
Yeah, that would be fitting.
There you go.
That would be fitting, man.
What kind of slippers did you say, Skyrider?
The Fosse slippers, or the ones with the little teddy bears on top of it.
Oh, all right. I thought you said fatherly, because, my father used to wear slippers. It had that fatherly look.
That's right. That keeps that tootsies warm.
That's right. First time I did it, Bagger, I took a little AB switch box, a nice one, MFJ, the little blue one. And that rascal wasn't working right. Had me believing that they yanked my cord and messed up my cable. Had me scared, man. I'm like, oh, don't tell me I gotta pay somebody to go back up there.
Oh, no. That wouldn't be good at all.
No. Then I decided to bring out the Delta 4. I put the Delta 4 on there and all of the problems went away.
Well, switch boxes can get tarnished too, and, they need a little TLC every once in a while.
Yeah, so I assumed that I need to open this thing up and clean the contacts because I didn't really want to use the Delta 4. I only really need two. Yeah. That's all I really needed. I should, yeah. But I didn't know that thing was, I didn't. And that thing scared me, man. It had me in a pretty bad, I'm thinking, man, they must have yanked the end of the coax. They must have did this. They must have done that. And, well, long story short, I walked back across the yard and bought the Delta 4 because that's kind of new. I put that in there and all the problems went away. SWRs is beautiful.
So what did you do to put the coax into the Studio B? Did you do it yourself, or did you have somebody come out and do it?
I had tree surgeons to come and climb that tree and hook me up a 75-foot coax cable that I already had around here. Remember the one from the beam?
so you thought that when they did that cable was a problem?
Yeah, I thought they maybe yanked it one time too many. You know how that go. Because they're tree surgeons. They were Mexicans. I think they were anyway. They looked like Mexicans to me. They went up for me. And they connected it, and then they put all of the little zip ties and everything back in place and sent it back up there, and then brought a cable down to me. I drilled a hole and put it in here. Then they took the cable that go to the house and they ran it down the other side of the barn, so it come in, and I joined it with a little switch box. And then the devil got in it.
Well, at least the problem was not something that was going to require more Mexicans.
That's correct, because it cost me a couple $100 plus tips for them to go up there.
Did you get them to raise that doublet antenna?
No. They work on the one side of the. I told them I didn't want them to hurt that, because least little thing. Next thing you know, I'll be starting all over again.
Well, you don't want to start over again, but if you can get that feed point up higher, it would do you better.
Yeah, do it before it snows.
But Pete, see, I don't have no noise on this band. This thing is perfect.
Yeah, well, noise. This is a completely other side of the spectrum. So, man-made noise down there, you're more susceptible to it. You got to take care of it.
I tell you what, it makes me to believe that the 11-meter band is a choice band.
It is for us.
Yeah, it's a better quality than some of the. Yeah, they get longer distance, but then again, when we get a skip wave, then we can go a long ways too.
Well, that's it. You need the sunspots to help you out. Otherwise, this is a local band that might make 50 miles or 60 miles, unless you're on top of a big hill or have a lot of power somewhere. But it's strictly a local band. You get down on 80 meters and 40 meters and 160. You can talk a couple 100 miles without any problem.
Every night of the week, regardless of sunspots.
Yeah, mine seem to favor Canada. It favors Canada. It favors Massachusetts. It favors Ohio. It favors Illinois. Let's see, and Tennessee. Yeah. Well, Florida comes in there pretty good too. But yeah, that's what they seem to favor. I don't know what happened to 5 but everybody else is coming in noise.
Same thing that's happening tonight with me and Pete.
You say you're working Florida on 160 meters.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
160 meters, you worked Florida.
Yes, sir. I believe I did.
Sure, was it 80?
Maybe it was 40. It might have been 40. It might have been 40, Pete.
Yeah, 40, I believe. 160, I have to question it.
But I did get Tennessee on 160 tonight. And I know I was on 160 because it's still there on 160. Yeah, I have been doing a lot of dialing around, but tonight I didn't. I got Tennessee, no problem.
Yeah, I don't have any trouble believing that. Florida can be done, but it's not common.
Roger that, yeah. Maybe that was one other night or daytime, 40 meters. But, yeah. I was on this band and there was a couple other guys in there that were far out. I think one of them was in Massachusetts and the other one was in West Virginia or Virginia. They were pretty clear, no problem at all. Beautiful stations.
Well, that's the beauty of the different bands, though. The different bands, you can regularly expect to do certain things regularly. Now, there's always the outliers and different things that happen, but they're fairly predictable what you could do on a regular basis on the different bands at different times of the day.
Yeah, and I don't have that nasty noise when I'm on 40 meters. You know, them guys come in real nice, very nice. You know, we talk. Very nice. I like it. I do. I like 40 meters so far better than any of them.
Yeah, and I can see why. 40 is one of my favorite too, because daytime it's pretty regional, pretty good coverage, and then at nighttime it's more or less that same regional coverage plus some really distant stations. So yeah, that's one of my favorites too. But I like 160 meters for whole different reasons. But I got a transistor shortwave AM shortwave radio you could borrow, and that should be able to help you track down where your noise is coming from. And you got to get rid of that noise, and you'll enjoy 160 more.
Yeah, if I could get rid of that noise, it would do me a lot of good. Tonight, man, I keyed up, and the LEDs in the ceiling was blinking like lightning.
Oh no, RF feedback.
Yes, sir. I was getting on down.
Getting down, getting back up again.
Yeah, using that RF energy to your advantage for the light show.
Yeah, it's kind of scary. You don't know what's going on.
You don't know who's who, who's what. You don't have a clue.
All of a sudden, you see these lights blink. I back down the power. Yeah, man. But anyhow, we're right now, and I got the Blackface radio over here because it has its own amplifier, and I do not have an amplifier for CB over here. And yesterday when I was trying it out, Seattle, Washington got back to me. Texas got back to me. I was doing really good. So I was happy. I'm like, wow, nice. Tonight I tried it on the ground wave, and I got down there where 45 is on the Mason-Dixon line, and that was fine too. We talked about Classic Radio Roundup. He said he didn't hear nobody, so I don't know. I said, they're in there now.
I think it was Monday night. I'm pretty sure it was Monday night. I know it wasn't Sunday night because I wasn't on, but band conditions on 10 meters were pretty good. This was like 7 o'clock or so. I was on 10 meters. I got on sideband, and I worked Korea.
All right. Hey, you know how Skyrider told on me today?
Yeah. Well, you guys are so close. The proverbial can and string would work.
But he came up and he told on me. I think I might tell on you. I get a hold of 5 out 7, tell him, yeah, Pete gonna put that. He gonna put that capacitor back in. He gonna double this. He gonna disobey you.
I think I'm going to put that capacitor in and not do that other mod. But what I might do, I have a second multi-LMAC that has not quite, it's lacking in audio output. It gets out, but it's not like this one does. I think I might go to that one and do all these modifications to that one. So if things get screwed up, I don't screw up my one that works.
That's a good idea.
It sure is.
I think that's what I'm going to do.
Yeah, that's the right way to do it because you might go to a point of no return, and then after that, it'd be a major troubleshoot.
I'm going to go back. I'm going to put that capacitor back, but leave the original mod that I did to feed the outboard audio. And then the other multi-LMAC, I'll do all these mods, and maybe somehow I can overcome the lack of audio in that one.
There you go. But yeah, Well, first get it working, and then start your mods. See if you could bring it up. It might be something simple that it ain't giving you as much as the other one.
Oh, I've been down that road a couple times already, comparing the two side by side, and I can't find the difference. But maybe it might benefit from the outboard audio, because when I outboard audio this one, I used to have when I was using the D104 on it before any mods, I had to have my mic gain like 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock, something like that, like usually around 1 o'clock. And the one that's lacking, I'd have to have it cranked all the way up to get the same or almost the same audio level out of it. After I did the mod, put the outboard audio in, I had to turn the mic gain back to 9 o'clock. Otherwise, it was too stinking loud. So I think the low audio one may benefit from doing the mod.
Yeah, it's possible. Yeah, the low audio one might have one component in there that need to be changed to bring it back up to where it should be.
I wonder if any of those cathode bypass caps in the bed LMAC are going to, what are they electrolytics?
Those ones that go to ground? Yeah, they were electrolytics.
I'm wondering if on the bad one of those electrolytics went bad, and that's why you got low gain.
It's certainly entirely possible, but if I cut them out of the circuit, it won't matter anymore.
Yeah, so yeah, that'll be something to play with. Experimentation's always fun.
Yeah, I'm on board with that. Well, I just pulled the cover off the bad one just to take a look in here. And I did extensive capacitor replacements in this one. I could see it right off. That capacitor and that capacitor, they've all been changed out.
Okay, well, that was a thought, but evidently you covered that already.
Yeah, just pulled the cover off and looking in the bad one. And I replaced a lot. I replaced all the electrolytics in it.
Were they polarized, those negative and positive, those electrolytics, or did it make a difference one way or the other?
No, they're polarized. Yeah, they all got replaced, so that's not the issue. So it still remains a mystery, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to fool around with this one.
Yeah, Bagger supposed to be working on my Demco, man.
Yeah, I was looking at it today. And one thing that troubles me is that he replaced a bunch of tubes in there, but he used different numbers. I assume they are compatible, but there may be some slight differences in the way the tubes work, and that could account for the AGC problem.
It could. Was it in the? Wasn't that a? What was that? I forget what tube that was. What would it be? A 6BA6 there?
Well, the tubes that are that he replaced, that he put different ones in there. The front end tube and the mixer tube, which is a 6E8A, and the front end is a 6DJ8. And he replaced them with 6GH8s, which I guess he was able to get those. But I'm wondering if that was that may be what's causing the AGC problem. The squelch problem is a little different issue. I'm scratching my head at that one. It's got something to do with voltages, and I'm going to check some resistor values. There may be a couple of resistors that have gone funky. But we'll see.
Yeah, that sounds nice. I think you'll be able to pull that off. I really do. I told him that I didn't care whether I had a squelch or not because I don't use a squelch, which I don't. But, if I'd have known it was going to have other effects, then I would have told him to fix everything. Because, the shipping alone was ugly just to go down there. And that didn't include his fees. So, but yeah. That'll be a beautiful radio if we can get that part fixed because the audio is awesome.
Yeah. If I would have thought about it, I should have fired it up tonight.
Yeah, you could have tested it just to see what was and what was not.
Let's see, it's after 10. I'll be going to bed soon anyway. But yeah, I fully intend to put this on the signal generator, and I'm going to crank the levels up and see what goes on with the AGC. But I'm a little afraid that I got to do a little online research and find out if these tubes that he subbed in there are complete, replacements, or whether there are some differences. Like for instance, the new Vista tubes for the front end of the Browning, there are 6 DS4s, and they also make a 6 CW4 new Vista, and they will work. The 6 CW4 is pin for pin compatible, and they will work. It's the same kind of tube, but the characteristics of the tube, the cutoff, and things like that are a lot different. And Browning warns that if you don't do that, don't put a 6 CW4 in there, or you're gonna your AGC won't work right, and your S meter won't be right, and yada yada yada. So sometimes you can't really substitute for everything.
Yeah, you're absolutely correct. I've heard situations like that where you have to make the necessary changes. Certain resistors has to be changed, just like that 6GH8. No, that ain't what I'm talking about. The 12, the one that they use in the final 12G DG. Oh man, you know what I'm talking about? For the tram, they upgraded, and then the people wanted to go back to the 6L6.
Yeah. What was it? 6 DG4 or something like that.
6DG6, something like that. And everybody wanted to go back to the the audiophile tube, which is a better tube all the way around. And I think one day me and cameraman went to work, and no, that was another circuit we modified and put it back like old times. We took a D201A, and in the audio section we wired it like a D201. Yeah, had to change the bias and do this and do that, and make it like it used to be, because they put them little limiter circuits in there and whatever else they were doing. They were playing little tricks probably for the FCC, and he walked me through, and we put it back like it used to be before they made all of those mods.
Yeah, that was a whole other thing, the D201A. At some point along the line, later productions, Tram decided they were going to change the way the final audio tube was biased. They did away with the self-bias, which is, very reliable. It's just a stinking resistor to ground. But instead they went to this other biasing circuit that they developed a little bit of negative voltage off of the filament supply, and they applied that to the control grid of the tube, and achieved the right kind of bias. And supposedly it ended up with a little bit more gain, a little bit more power output of the audio amp, because you got to did away with that cathode resistor. but it was unreliable. The bias would shift, and then you had tubes that would cherry, and a bunch of problems. And a lot of people were putting them back to the old way. They were taking the cuts and jumps out, and replacing the resistors on the BA board that had to be in there, and returning it to self bias, and it's more reliable.
Yeah, and it was nice because then that 6L6 didn't turn red anymore. Rascal used to sit there and oscillate.
Well, anytime you got a tube that's glowing red like that, that's excessive bias, and or lack thereof, lack of negative bias.
Yeah. So them was some fun days, man. We used to have the computer open. I'd have everything spread out on the dining room table, man. We had a cell phone there. All right, now go to pen number, 8. Pen number 8. See if you get 40 volts. It was either that or negative 40 volts. I can't remember. But, I had my little VTVM, on the table and everything. Mrs. Strange, she'll be cooking. I thought that it was all right, man. And she come to find out she didn't want all that mess on her dining room table.
That's why you got Studio B. Now you can mess all you want.
Yeah, but now I could barely see inside of these little radios. And man, I actually ordered a pair of reading glasses specifically so that I could have a pair over here because I felt handicapped.
Yeah, it's hard to do work when you can't see. Oh, man.
It's true. Well, I see if Stefan and JR is still in there.
JR kind of slogged down. What happened to him?
What about you, JR? Man, I've been gone.
He been gone.
Is that Goose?
Yeah, I keep saying good evening time, but every time I do, somebody else is talking, so I think no one heard me.
You know what? I thought I heard your Roger beep just one time. And I thought about you. I said, that could be Goose, but man, you could have forgot it.
I didn't know it was on, now it's off.
Yeah. Yeah, Goose, man, how's everything? It's been a little while.
Everything's going good. I'm getting my table all set up. I'm getting there.
Did you ever get your antenna up in the air or out of the yard and into another spot since we talked?
No, I got to start digging a hole before it gets too cold, so I can put the tower up back there by the chimney and have it going up.
Gotta dig a hole before it gets too cold.
That's for sure.
Yeah, boy. Yeah, you sounding good tonight. What you running?
29.95.
Roger that.
Is that what you're running tonight, Train?
Yeah, I don't have a choice because nothing else had an amplifier, and I would have to bring everything over to big power supply and everything if I wanted to. So I figure, well, let's just take it over there. I think this will be its permanent home. I don't see no reason for it to go back to the house. I would like to bring a few of the classics over here. Yes, sir. But I got to set up, I got to get a power supply over here and set up so that, I could run the classics. But yeah, I intend to bring at least 4 classics over here and then maybe this one.
Are you in the shack?
I'm in the shack, man. Psychedelic. I mean, it ain't psychedelic.
Got it all done up?
It's done up. Yeah, I got the heat on, man. I'm all right, except for all of these boxes and mess that, I didn't clean up yet, and I didn't set everything in order. Everything was kind of rushed. I really wanted to have all of the final coats of paint and stuff on the walls before we moved in, but, it didn't work out like that. So I still got some patches that need to be painted. Then I wanted to get down there and clean the floor and get rid of construction dust. Next thing you know, there's radios in here. Go figure.
Yeah, right. You couldn't read.
No, looked like I was in. Well, no, there was reasons for it all because Pete was ready to set up the ham setup before we were actually finished, but it was all right. And then when I decided to go with a 220 volt dedicated line, 240 dedicated line, we had to bust the wall again, and run the line.
Roger. So you got that old thing set up in there?
Yeah, it's in there.
Roger. Yeah. I still got to work on my ice machine so I can have some ice.
That's right. Yeah, you gotta have ice.
Yeah, you can't be chilling without ice.
All right, guys. I'll talk to you later.
Hey, what's up there, Joker?
Well, what's going on, man? I just heard you pop in there.
Yeah, howdy. Long time no talk.
Yeah, roger that. Yeah, time for my bedtime.
Yeah, you and me both. I'm going to be saying goodnight myself. So everyone have a good night, and we'll do it again next week. Classic Radio Roundup.
Good night there, Bagger.
Bagger, keep me posted on your progress, man. That seems exciting.
What's that?
Keep me posted on your progress. That seems really exciting, man. That AGC circuit and everything.
Well, I'll see what I can do. I want to see if I have any of these tubes that are supposed to be in here. I don't think I do. They're not like tubes that you find in Panasonic chassis radios. Maybe one of my trams might have it. I'll check and see, but I can. That's an easy substitution. If the AGC if that fixes the problem, then I'll know what to do about it.
Yeah, I understand that. Yeah, isn't that something? Well, he likes to do other tubes and things. He likes to select tubes too. He's into that. This tube right here actually works better than He liked to do that, but I don't know if he was doing that then. I think he might have been more on the act of just getting things working. But he did a beautiful job with the modulation and everything. And he's got it tuned up. I do believe he could have put a capacitor somewhere in line to bring my channel 13 on the frequency.
I didn't see any capacitors, but he did something, I guess. But he replaced quite a few tubes. He put little yellow dye on the tops of the tubes that he replaced. He did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Looks like he replaced 5 tubes. So, evidently it needed it.
You think only had 9 tubes, really?
Yeah, well, he replaced most of them. Anyway, I'll keep you informed. We'll catch you later then.
All right, have a good night, Bagger.
Good night, Bagger. And I'm right behind you. I'm getting out of here and shutting off the gate. Thanks for all the fun on the Classic Radio Roundup. 7-3 till the next time. Countywide Radio.
All right, good night, Pete. I didn't know Joker was still there. What about you, Mike? You still out there? Hey, Bite Buster, you still there? Yeah, Bite Buster, he gives up. So it's just me and you, Skyrider?
Yeah, I don't know. Anybody still out there? Where did Goose go?
Where you go, Goose? Well, Goose, sometimes he just stepped away, I don't know.
Yeah, roger that. It looks like JR stepped away too. Maybe he went down to the ham bands.
I wouldn't blame him.
Roger that. Yeah, I just, I came down from the ham bands and I just take it easy. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man. So, this here is a shorter cable directly to that antenna. That's why I was looking for a little bit better performance because, I knocked out about 120 25 feet. You know what I mean? And I figure, well, that would make for better performance.
Yeah. Well, as long as your SWR and everything is right, you probably got a couple of more dBs up the antenna, you know.
I have a suspicion. I never did find my what's the name of that thing? I did find the MFJ, but the other one, what's the name of that little thing you brought over here?
The VNA. Yeah. Did I tell you I got me another gadget that helps especially with finding RFI?
Oh, did you really? So, is it something that you would walk around in the neighborhood and detect like a bad transformer on the pole or something?
Yep. It looks a little bit like the VNA, but it is a spectrum analyzer, and it came with a small preamp. When I put that on, it almost mimics my waterfall when I go to a certain band, you know, and but now a dishwasher runs, I can exactly go there and it gets stronger, you know. You can pinpoint or, for instance, you take the antenna close to your cell phone and then you get the interference there, and it works, you know.
That's nice. That's very, very nice. Yeah, I need to find out what in the neighborhood is causing all of my noise.
Who's that out there talking?
Your noise normally.
Mostly on the 160 meter band. It's like a, you know, and the voice is coming over top of it. But if you can't make it over top of it, then, you know, you end up having it hard.
Who are you talking to?
Skyrider.
Oh, okay.
Good evening, Goose.
Good evening time to you.
I think we doubled. Good evening, Goose.
Yep, I'm just trying to get my stuff together. I got my second bird hooked up. Got one on wattage and one on reflect.
All right.
Yeah, I still got to tune my antenna, because sometimes I get some reflect. I don't know why.
Well, you never know. You maybe have a loose connector or something, you know.
But yeah, I don't get that much though. I just get like, I don't know, maybe like 1 pound. Not even 1 pound of reflect.
1 pound.
Yeah, Roger. I see what you're saying. Yeah. But yeah, like I said, there's all kinds of stuff that could do that to you.
People think it's the coax. I picked up 600. I just got to swap it out. I'm going to have to make the hole bigger to fit the 600 in here. Let's hope it's long enough. I got 50 feet. That stuff is pretty thick.
Yeah, Roger, what coax are you using right now?
What am I using?
Yeah, Roger, what type is it? What that number 8, what's it called?
The coax I'm using is 400 double sealed.
Yeah, that shouldn't be a problem. But that's what I'm running up to the roof, and also that stuff what I'm having, what I bought for the one what I'm gonna put up, that is similar, that Berry Flex, you know, that is close to the 400.
We also got a leave on my gamer matcher. I don't know if you've ever seen one of these antennas before, but it looks like a trumpet. And there's a leave on one of my trumpets. It's a, what kind of antenna do I have? It's a, shockwave.
Oh, that definitely can do it. If you have something on your gamma match, you know, that's pretty sensitive stuff up there.
Oh yeah, I gotta get that leaf off of there.
you have to go up that you get it off, or you just can shake the mast?
I'll be back. My daughter's calling me.
Roger that.
We got a breaker out there, Skyrider.
Come on in, Breaker.
Go ahead there, Break.
Who got breaking?
I don't know. Go, Breaker.
Oh, we got the gingerbread man here.
Oh, that's who it is. It's the gingerbread man. What's going on? I haven't heard you in a long time.
Out making bread. What have you been doing?
I was building a ham radio station.
I just sold 2 ham radios the other day.
What were they?
Camelid and something, I forget what the other one was, kind of old. They had microphones, one had a power cord. A friend gave them to me, and then I sold them.
10-4. You was at the ham fest, I'll tell you.